I'm deeply regretting that I'm not talking to you about the dogs that I've adopted tonight, but instead, I thought it would be great to talk to everyone about empathy. What the fuck is it and why do we need it? It's kind of a buzzword right now. But this is really what's been the crux of everything I've been doing professionally as of late. And I really love this image because empathy is about that exchange between people. It's about actively giving and receiving and putting yourself in the mindset of someone else. And I can take no credit for this image. I totally plagiarized. I love this definition about empathy because the last sentence to me about the fact that empathy is about understanding someone else's circumstances or their point of view without necessarily agreeing with it seems really timely, at least for me with Republican in-laws right now. And data has shown that empathy can make us happier. It improves the relationships that we have with people and the way we interact with the world around us. And I don't know about you, but I could always stand to be happier. It definitely makes us healthier. There are studies that show that when we employ empathy every day, it helps our nervous system. And when we can make our nervous system calmer, it has health benefits that ripple in a million different ways, and it can make us smarter. And I could always stand to be smarter. It helps improve our EQ and impacts the way that we show up for the work that we do, no matter what the work is that you're doing. But as my spirit animal, Sophia Petrillo, might say, who cares? I also really want that straw purse, so if anyone sees it when you're out shopping. But why should we care, right? Like, empathy is this buzzword that's around right now. But what if we could use this idea of empathy to solve the world's most pressing challenges? What if we could take something as simple as listening without judgment to people, real people, who have real lived experiences, and take that to generate new ideas? For example, what if we could listen to educators, the people who are creating the new economy, the students themselves, to reimagine what education could look like? I think we could all agree that education as it exists today might not be bringing us to the place we need to be. Or what if we could listen to patients and healthcare providers about what their experience is like, both as the people who are receiving treatment and also the people who are responsible for providing it? Could we improve healthcare outcomes for people around the world? And my favorite, politics. So if we were to listen to the average citizen about their real pain points and what they cared about, could we transform the political landscape? Because right now, no one's really listening. We're all kind of talking at each other. And this is really important when we realize 90 million people didn't turn out to vote last election. That's like the equivalent of 33 cities the size of Chicago just going radio silent on election night and turning out the lights and hiding under the bed and being like, go away, not here. And there's 519,612 elected offices around the country, from dog catcher all the way up to president. So if we're not listening to what people actually need, who are we putting in those offices? So the question I have for all of you is, how might we make politics happier, healthier, and smarter? I think the bar is set kind of low right now, so there's lots of room to ideate. So one thing that's been top of mind for me is, I don't know, show of hands, have people shown up on your door being like, hey, can you vote for Senator Ellie? Anyone? No, maybe not Ellie specifically, but often what's happening in these interactions is no one's actually asking people what they care about. They are talking at the voters and hoping for the best, maybe. And then we wind up with a field of candidates that aren't necessarily reflective of the communities that they're trying to serve. But if we listened, could we maybe create a political ecosystem that's more reflective of the people that make up the ecosystem? My theory is yes, but that involves a few different pieces. And so the question becomes, what can each of us do individually? And there's a number of different things, but this is where that E word, empathy, comes back into play, is can we start there by bringing empathy into the interactions we have with the people around us, whether or not we agree with them? Another spirit animal, Linda Richman. I think for me, the idea of coffee talk, right? Can we sit down for coffee with people that we don't necessarily agree with to learn about what they care about? If you want to talk more about this, I'm all about empathy and coffee and swearing and the Golden Girls. So please feel free to reach out.